Hey everyone, this is Dietitian Aparna. I hope you all are doing good. So, how often has that happened with you that you had a day that was not planned, or a phone call that you didn't even expect, or a medical bill that you thought that your insurance must have taken care of, and all those situations? And you say, oh, it was just one of those days. Chances are you are not alone. Everyone has encountered some form of stress at one point or another in their lives. But did you know that nutrition can play a big role when it comes to daily stress management? Stress can play a role in the short-term food choices we make, thus affecting our long-term well-being. Think about it. After one of those days when you might find yourself heading to the bakery section of your local grocery store or the ice cream aisle, looking for some less healthy comfort foods. While this may temporarily relieve stress, it may not be beneficial to your health over a long period of time. So, today I'll be discussing the short and the long term effects of stress eating and how you can use nutrition related strategies to combat it. So, what is stress? Stress is often described as how the brain and the body act in response to any type of pressure or challenge. While acute or short term stress isn't always a bad thing, but chronic or long term stress can have a damaging effect on your health. So how do you know when the stress is acute versus the stress is chronic? Actually, acute stress generally lasts for a short period of time. It can be a life threatening circumstance where you feel that your pulse is accelerating, your breathing quickens, your muscles tense, and your brain it uses more oxygen. And then there could be non-life threatening circumstances. The same reaction may occur, but in response to a less extreme situation, such as when you need to give a presentation or when your doctor is going to review your labs. So situations like that. So those were the situations related to acute stress, and then we have chronic stress. Chronic stress, on the other hand, it is usually persistent. It lasts long. It has a longer lasting effects, and the body's response to a chronic stress may be more subtle than that of acute stress, but the effects may be more damaging. So, what are the effects of acute stress on the body? Infrequent episodes of acute stress do not generally cause problems for people who are in general good health. So, what happens when we are faced with a stressful situation? When we have a stressful situation, the brain it releases a series of hormones or chemicals that might suppress our appetite, thus putting the desire to eat on hold for a brief period of time. After this response, your blood sugar levels they may drop, and your body needs those nutrients to be properly refilled. However, this is when people turn to high fat, high sugar, or what we call as the comfort foods to cope after being faced with a stressful situation. This isn't always a bad thing, as sometimes the food we enjoy can actually reduce our stress levels. But what do we need to remember? We need to remember that everything has to be in moderation. If you're coping with some of the comfort foods like cheese and all, those foods are good, but again, you have to remember that everything has to be in limit, everything has to be in moderation. So, let's look at the effects of chronic stress on your body. It is when the stress it persists for a longer period of time that can have a negative impact on health. Chronic stress occurs when there is constant source of stress and the body it never receives a clear signal that the job has been done, like it never you can never get a signal that the stress period is over. Like okay, it is some most of the times it is related to job related issues. It is related to medical conditions that are continuous, that seem for a very long duration of time. Those are not small instances. Those are long periods of time. So having the body in a constant stress mode can cause digestive issues, it can cause headaches, it can cause irritability, it can cause fatigue. So during these periods of prolonged stress, the brain also signals the body to release the hormone cortisol, which can cause an increase in the appetite to support the body's energy needs. And if the cortisol is continuously released, then it could lead to increased cravings of fatty foods. It can increase need for the sweet foods, and that leads to poor eating habits and overeating. Eating less nutritious food can further increase the physical stress put on your body by making digestion more difficult. And then beverages such as alcohol, there is caffeine, they can also have an effect and further increase the strain you put on your body. So over time, continued strain on your body can stress from body from stress may contribute to serious health problems such as cardiovascular diseases. It can lead to diabetes. It can lead to obesity. It can lead to so many other illnesses, including mental disorders such as depression and anxiety. And that is why it is important that you give your body the nutrition it needs to help to combat that stress. It needs to take care of yourself. Okay, so how do we manage the stress through nutrition? Being able to manage stress levels so that you do not adversely affect your mental or physical health is important. Proper nutrition is an important stress management tool. When our bodies are poorly fed, stress takes an even greater toll on your body. It puts a lot more pressure on your health. Here are some tips to help you eat well for less stress. First, prepare and pack your meals beforehand. Having your meals prepared and planned for the day leaves you less susceptible to going to the vending machine, and ensure that you're eating well balanced meal throughout the day. Second, stock your workplace with healthy snacks. Similar to planning your meals, make sure you plan your snacks to avoid those midday pitfalls. Keep a, keep a supply of quick, healthy snacks at your workplace. Some examples are Greek yogurt. You can have nuts, you can have veggies, you can have boiled eggs, you can have hummus, or you can have fresh fruit with nut butter. So those are all healthy snacks, and it's a good idea. You private always whenever you know that you're going to be out of the home for a certain like a couple of hours, always carry your snacks. And then eat regularly throughout the day. Why? Because your brain it needs a steady supply of glucose to function at its best. And if we are not giving that glucose, that continuous supply of glucose to the blood, to the brain, then you will have you will see that you may not be able to take good decisions. Your brain will be foggy, and eating regularly can help to keep the blood glucose level at a stable level, and it will help you to make healthy and good decisions. What else can we do? Eat mindfully. It's not only important to to make sure that you are eating, but also to be mindful of what you are eating. Make sure you are eating foods that supply important nutrients. That includes healthy fats, that includes fiber, that includes like fiber which or it that also includes like lean proteins, and that also includes a variety of fruits and vegetables, all those nuts and seeds, all those beautiful healthy whole grains. So that is you need to be mindful that you are putting a whole variety of nutrients to the body. It's not just one thing. You need to have all that variety in your diet. and sometimes we want to have that cup of coffee or in the evening when we are feeling kind of sleepy. So, while consuming caffeine may seem to give you that kickstart when you're tired, but some studies they have found that effect of caffeine are temporary and may ultimately disturb your sleep pattern. So, instead of having that cup of coffee or that cup of caffeine drink or a cup of tea when you're tired, try to adopt a better sleep habit instead. If you want to take a nap, take a 5 minute, 10-minute quick nap. That could be more refreshing than having that caffeine later in the day if that is going to affect your sleep at night. If your sleep is disturbed, then the next morning you will not wake on time or you will not have good sleep and then you will feel tired. So just be careful when you're trying to cope your stress by having those late evening coffees and teas and the caffeines. And there are you may be surprised to learn there are like specific foods that have shown to reduce stress and anxiety. First of all, there is magnesium has shown to reduce anxiety related behaviors. Foods like green leafy vegetables such as spinach or swiss chard and legumes, nuts, seeds and whole grains, they are high in magnesium and they can help you to reduce that stress, that anxiety sometimes that you have related to stress. What else? They zinc. Foods that are rich in zinc, such as oysters, cashews, egg yolks, they have been linked to lower your stress level or your anxiety. Other foods that are such as like fatty fish, like salmon, like they contain omega-3 fatty acids. They can also help you with the stress. So other thing is asparagus. Asparagus has been widely known to be healthy vegetable, and asparagus extract has been known to it has been used in many countries. The extract of the asparagus has been used in many countries for reducing stress. So asparagus is one thing that can also help you with the stress on those stressful days. Then also be careful to include some of the foods that are rich in B vitamins, such as almonds, such as avocado. So those are important. So make sure you have a whole variety of food. So you must be thinking that I have said so many names, but you do not have to pick and choose one, like one food for zinc, one for magnesium, and then food rich in B vitamins. So if you are having a variety of foods in your diet in general, then you will be getting all these nutrients, and you do not have to put a lot of thought in that. The goal is to have that variety in the food and also to have that those regular meals so that you do not have periods when you have not eaten anything and your blood glucose levels is falling down. And these feel good foods, they spur the release of neurotransmitters such as the serotonin and dopamine. So they are safe and they are easy and they should be the first step of managing stress and anxiety. So like all the foods that I just mentioned, the foods that are high in magnesium, foods that are high in zinc, asparagus, B vitamin, those foods they help in increasing the release of serotonin and dopamine. And remember, how to deal with stress is a choice. Too often, people turn to cigarettes, they turn to sweets, television, they turn to coffee and alcohol to manage stress. So instead, control stress by adopting a healthy lifestyle, which includes eating well, which includes regular exercise, which includes having that good sleep at the night and then waking up fresh in the morning. Okay, I hope this video was helpful, and in case you have any questions, you know how to reach me. And thank you so much again for watching the video.